I've been looking into these, Muslim channels, and all of a sudden now they are beginning to talk about Bashar al-Assad, how bad he is. I mean, what are they thinking, right? This is the art of deflection from the West.
For the people of Syria, may Allah bless you. You have got rid of a tyrant, an oppressor, a pharaoh, a Fir'aun.
Has answered our dua, and this tyrant, this backwards man, this butcher, this bastard has been disposed.
Who was Bashar al-Assad supporting in the Palestine issue? Who was Bashar al-Assad supporting? Mr. Adnan Rashid? Muhammad Hijab? Russia was supporting Bashar al-Assad. Remember that. This is the military language that Muslims should know about, because as soon as Syria was destabilized after Bashar al-Assad was ousted, Israel at once rushed towards occupying Syria, occupying areas of Syria, right?
How do you think Syria just fell? Well, that's because all the money, all the weapons that they laundered through Ukraine, they sent to their rebel groups and their terrorist groups and their CIA and their Mossad operatives in those regions to topple Assad.
ليش ما يكون فيها تحقيق في مقتل صدام حسين؟ قيادة عربية بالكامل تقتل تشنق في المشانق وإحنا نتفرج لماذا؟
Americans for decades have seen Muslims as a competitor against their empire. Okay, Assalamu alaikum. So today I want to talk about Syria. I mean, lots of people have, got it confused, the Syria issue confused, even Muslims. The Syria issue is somewhat connected to the Palestine issue. The Palestine issue is everything at the moment for Muslims and the world in general, right? The Palestine issue is what has tilted the official organizations like the United Nations, the ICC, the ICJ. So the Palestine issue is at the heart of the matter. It is the crown jewel of the world at the moment. So if you want to understand Syria, especially the Muslims, they have to tie this issue with Palestine. Now the thing is, I've been looking into these, Muslim channels, and all of a sudden now they are beginning to talk about Bashar al-Assad, how bad he is. I mean, what are they thinking, right? This is the art of deflection from the West, from America. This is the art of deflection. So your mind, the mind of Muslims, Westerns love it. They get, submerged or trapped into these identities. Oh, Bashar al-Assad, he has, a different type of a religious identity than, what the Sunnis do, and what, this type of, elements to divide them. Sunni, Shia, those are, different sects. Those are, these type of elements to divide us. So just have a look at this. Yeah, so here is Adnan Rashid. I mean, I like this person a lot. Famous Muslim historian, has done terrific work in terms of history. But even, these people are getting this wrong, unfortunately. I mean, you have to understand this issue, that it has happened after the Palestine issue has gained a lot of momentum, right? In the modern time. You have to understand it in that perspective. Not in these, little identities of Sunni, Shia, this is a different religious identity. This is, Muslims have to unite. This is the best time to unite. So just have a listen.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is a special message for the people of Syria. May Allah bless you. You have got rid of a tyrant, an oppressor, a pharaoh, a Fir'aun. And may Allah reward you, may Allah unite you, may Allah give you a future, may Allah make you a beacon of civilization to raise the head of Islamic dignity and honor in the world.
Absolutely, and it's been a long time, and we were making dua for this moment for a very, very long time, and Allah has answered our dua, and this tyrant, this backwards man, this butcher, this bastard has been disposed, and alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
Alhamdulillah, that's what we can say, inshallah. Brothers and sisters, the brothers have said it very well, especially with those last words.
So this is a special message for the people of Syria from the Da'wah fraternity in the UK, the Muslims of the UK. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Takbir. So inshallah, we look forward to a great, honorable, dignified future for the Muslims and non-Muslims of Syria. Everyone in Syria, unite.
Oh my God. What just happened here? Actually, I didn't expect these people to get this. I mean, so wrong. I mean, is it so hard to understand that this Syria issue has gained momentum after the Palestine issue? Why? Who was behind it? Who was behind it? Wasn't Israeli think tanks probably behind it? Or American think tanks behind it? Is Bashar al-Assad worse than Israel? What is wrong with these people? Who was Bashar al-Assad supporting in the Palestine issue? Who was Bashar al-Assad supporting? Mr. Adnan Rashid, Muhammad Hijab, and there's more.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you guys doing? It's a fantastic day wherein which the bastard, the butcher Bashar al-Assad is disposed, and his tyrannical regime, his authoritarian regime, his backward regime has also been disposed with. These individuals, these cowards, ran from their posts really quickly in a scurry, which shows you the lack of fortitude they really had. To be honest with you, anyone who supported him and or his regime has a real question mark on them, frankly, because this man has been responsible for the killing of hundreds of thousands of people and the displacement of even more. So this is a day, as we've seen, that Syrian people are celebrating. We should be celebrating as well and making hamd and praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this has happened. And we wish for the Syrian people a stable, a proper country. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Muhammad Hijab, who was Bashar al-Assad supporting in the Palestine issue? Who was militarily supporting Palestine? 4 major countries. 4 major countries. Number 1, Iran. Number 2, Lebanon, Hezbollah. Number 3, Yemen, the Houthis. And number 4, Syria. These were at the forefront. Bashar al-Assad was at the forefront on militarily defending the Palestine issue. I mean, these people are so intelligent, Muhammad Hijab, Adnan Rashid, but the thing is, I don't think they know about the military language. In wars, the most important language is the military language. CIA knows about this. Mossad knows about this. I don't think Adnan Rashid or Muhammad Hijab knows about the military language. Because as soon as Syria was destabilized after Bashar al-Assad was ousted, Israel at once rushed towards occupying Syria, occupying areas of Syria, right? So, I mean, it blows my mind away that Muslims are still, delved into these little fights of religious identities. I mean, that's what the West loves. Biden loves this. The CIA and the American people like John Kirby, they love this when Muslims, instead of looking at the military picture, the bigger picture, get tied into these little identity politics, right? So how could they get this so wrong? America was against Bashar al-Assad. And who did they support in toppling Bashar al-Assad? These were the people, Hayat Tahrir Al-Sham and Jolani, or former members of Al-Qaeda, right? The terrorists. And they are still designated as a terrorist organization, even by the United States of America. And here comes, another thing. Now let's get well into the real politics, which is tied in with the military, right? Russia was supporting Bashar al-Assad. Remember that. This is the military language that Muslims should know about. Muhammad Hijab should know about. Adnan Rashid should know about. Russia was supporting Bashar al-Assad. America wasn't. Without Russia's support, Muslims can never challenge the United States of America or Israel. It's very simple calculations. I hope this reaches Muhammad Hijab or Adnan Rashid. Very simple calculation. Does the Muslim world have more nuclear power? Or does America has more nuclear power? Does Israel has more nuclear power? Does United Kingdom has more nuclear power? Does France have more nuclear power? We are nothing without, gathering support from Russia or China. We need to, the world is changing. Look towards the east. We need their support. And they also need our support. Russia was supporting Bashar al-Assad. And here comes another thing. But I'll, there are a couple of theories I want to tell about this. Yeah, InfoWars actually made a good analysis of this.
Humanity, the people that have fought so long to degenerate our culture and destroy our country and collapse it into the New World Order, they've been working hard on their plans too. So they're certainly not just going to give up. But you can see some of their operations now, where you look at the final days of the Biden administration and what are they doing? They're sending hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine. And all that money gets laundered and all those weapons get laundered. Why do you think Syria just fell? Well, that's because all the money, all the weapons that they laundered through Ukraine, they sent to their rebel groups and their terrorist groups and their CIA and their Mossad operatives in those regions to topple Assad, because he wasn't siding with the Western New World Order, with the global government. You could say he was corrupt. Whatever you think of Assad, he was trying to run Syria. He didn't want to go into this new Western culture of everything.
Yeah, brilliantly explained, I think. Brilliantly explained by Owen Schroyer. Assad was going against America, right? Yeah, you can make those arguments that, he probably could have made some elections, this label of, dictator is not a very good label. But the thing is, why are these people like Adnan Rashid, Muhammad Hijab, most of the Muslims starting to talk about this Assad and these type of things more now? Why? Why is the question? Is it because America wanted you to deflect from the major issue of Jerusalem and Palestine and Gaza, the genocide, to talking about people like Bashar al-Assad? Was it a part of deflection? Many things are going around, actually. Many things are going around. Remember the 7th generation warfare I talked about in my previous video of Sudan? Remember the 7th generation warfare? To make things so complicated so that a simple person would not understand it. The analogy is like, the Alice in Wonderland story, right? Remember the Alice in Wonderland story? The classical mad tea house, right? Let me show you.
Butter! Butter? Butter, oh, thank you, butter. Yes, that's fine.
Oh, no, you'll get crumbs in it.
Oh, this is the very best butter. What are you talking about?
Tea?
Tea? Oh, I never thought of tea, of course.
No.
Tea?
No, not tea.
Sugar? Sugar, 2 spoons, just 2 spoons, thank you, yes.
Please, be careful.
Jam? Jam, I forgot all about jam.
not
Just show you
tea.
what a place to do.
Mustard?
Mustard, yes, but mustard? Don't let's be silly. Lemon, that's different. There. That should do it.
Look at that. Oh, my What about these?
I can't understand
Bad
it.
watch,
Was it
bad
that
watch,
fire?
bad watch!
Oh, look! You think this thing? Oh, my goodness!
There's only one way to stop a bad watch.
So this is from Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Tea House, the seventh generation warfare. The seventh generation warfare. Make things so complicated, a simple person would not understand it. And that is what happening to Muslims, unfortunately. They are trying to divert your focus from the Palestine issue towards these, small religious identity issues. But the thing is, Muslims have to look above, not below. America looks at it with a different perspective, a holistic perspective. Russia looks at it as a holistic perspective. We also have to look at it in a holistic perspective. The holistic perspective is that Russia has more nuclear warheads than America. China has a lot of nuclear warheads. It's better to side with them. Russia has a better version of Christianity, even. Religiously, they are closer towards, Islam than the American version, right? Which is more hostile. So it's better to support Russia in this time if we understand the military language, if we understand the concept of alliance. America has been, defeating the Muslims by, alliance with European Union. That's it, right? And we are, still fighting over these small religious identities. We need to ally. All Muslims need to unite, and not only all Muslims, we need to even unite with other superpowers like Russia in toppling America. America is the American government is the one who enabled this genocide, right? Without American weapons, Israel would have never been able to carry out this genocide. So Russia is a saving grace for us. Now, but let me give you another theory finally. I think it's very important. I have actually a theory that Russia maybe allowed this to happen. Russia knew about, Muslims, the diversity among the Muslims, and these religious identities, identity crisis that Muslims have between each other. So Russia knew about this Syria issue, and Russia knew about the Bashar al-Assad issue, and there are also the Turkey, the Turkish-backed Syrian army, right? They also have a stake in this.
Nobody knows who the other side is, but I do. You know who it is? Turkey. Okay? Turkey's the one behind it. He's a very smart guy. They've wanted it for thousands of years, and he got it.
So Russia saw that Muslims would have probably, the majority of the Muslims would have probably gone away, or wouldn't have liked Bashar al-Assad's government in the long run anyways, right? So Russia made that calculation, and they saw that there was another stakeholder in Syria, which was the Turkish-backed Syrian army, right? So Turkey or Erdogan is another person who is a close ally of Putin, Russia, right? So Russia has actually played the seventh generation warfare against America, to the point that America is now supporting not Turkish-backed Syrian army, but the rebels, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, a designated terrorist group. So America has been extremely exposed on the Syria issue, to the point that they had to back terrorists. They're self-proclaimed terrorists. They're self-designated terrorists. So Russia has trapped America.
Defend your bosses who call the shots in Al Jazeera, but could an honest journalism would provide for a statement like Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, listed as a terrorist group by the United Nations Security Council and the United States, by the way, and opposition groups who are not listed.
Russia confused America so much on this seventh generation warfare, and Syria is a perfect example of this, that America had to support terrorists. So Americans, for decades have seen Muslims as a competitor against their empire, right? So that's why they came up with the label of terrorists. Do you know? Legalize killing Muslims, right? This is the hidden secret. So now if they have to support terrorists, Russia played it in such a way that America is supporting their designated terrorist groups. So their entire logic of these wars fall, right? Their entire logic, their entire official tone of these wars fall, right? So America, I believe, have lost the 7th generation warfare. Russia has outsmarted them. And there is a theory that Russia probably allowed this to happen because Russia saw that, there is also a Turkish backing there. So Erdogan is also more in line with the Russians. So Russia played it brilliantly. Now, the thing is, what if HTS, Hayat Tahrir Al-Sham, takes over Syria, right? So in that case, I would predict that Muslims would have to take ownership of them in the long run. Just like in Afghanistan, right? The Taliban. We have to take ownership of them. And in the long run, HTS will also, if HTS takes control of Syria in this civil war, we also have to take ownership of them in the long run, right? Because all these groups ultimately turn against America because America is the most extremist. American government is the most extremist among all. We know that secretly. The American government, CIA, IDF, Mossad, they are more extremist than ISIS even, right? So in the long run, we have to take ownership of, if HTS takes control of Syria, we have to take ownership of these groups as well. We have to make these groups against America as well. And with that, Assalamu alaikum.
من حقه في شنق صدام حسين. كيف يصير حرب يشنق ورئيس دولة عربية عضو في الجامعة العربية؟ لما تكلموا عن سياسة صدام حسين والخلافة معاه السياسي، ممكن كلنا مختلفين سياسيين معاه ومختلفين حتى مع بعضنا نحن الآن. ما في حاجة تجمعنا أبدا إلا القاعة هذه. ليش ما يكون فيها تحقيق في مقتل صدام حسين؟ قيادة عربية بالكامل تقتل تشنق في المشانق ونحن نتفرج، لماذا؟ ممكن الدور جاي عليكم كلكم. نعم. ليش امريكا قاتلت مع صدام حسين ضد الخميني؟ كان صديقها. تشيني كان صديق لصدام حسين. رامز سلي كان وزير دفاع الامريكي لما كان يدمروا في العراق، صديق حميم لصدام حسين، واخيرا باعوه وشنقوه. حتى انتم اصدقاء امريكا، نحن اصدقاء امريكا، بلاش نقول انتم، نحن اصدقاء امريكا كلنا قد توافق امريكا على شنقنا في يوم ما.